folks, this is the old boy, aka the cat-faced killer. I'm here with one of my coworkers, actually. He recommended a title to me, so we're going to talk about that. By the way, what did you want to call yourself?
We can just go with Deja Drew.
Deja Drew of the Deep Pockets.
That's correct.
That is correct. He's infamous at work for standing around with his hands in his pockets talking.
They go.
Should be working.
The pockets go so deep.
They go so deep. But you kind of hunch over trying to get your hands all the way down there.
Yeah, I often come across as a lot shorter because of it.
You do, yeah. I heard once somebody said you were 5'9", but I don't believe that.
No, it's much taller than that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the hunching.
It's the
Definitely
hunching.
the hunching. Okay, so what was this thing called again?
Okay, so the anime is called Owari no SERAPH, and it's a dystopian future where 90% of the human population has been killed off due to a virus, and vampires have taken over the earth.
Vampires.
Yes, vampires.
Where'd they come from?
It's not quite known where exactly they came from. You're led to believe that they've been around for the majority of the time before the virus came out, and they just used the virus as an opportunity to take over the world.
I do not recall that in this first season.
Well, they weren't born from the virus, but they have an underground city where they bring a number of the survivors as like a cattle farm for blood because they need to survive off of blood.
That's pretty dystopian.
Well, I mean, the majority of the population's been killed off, so it's kind of dystopian.
Yeah, just kind of. Why don't we talk about stuff we liked, we didn't like, and then we'll give our rating. I mean, we did Game of Thrones. I kind of liked it better when we gave our rating first, but this is the first time I'm actually hosting somebody, so let's stick to what I know.
Okay, so you want to go first with what I like?
Yeah.
What I like about the series is it's incredibly visually stimulating. The animation style is very clean, very polished. It's a very heavily CGI, like, cleaned up, but it's just really fun to watch the fight sequences between the characters, and that's one of the things I liked. I've always been a big fan of vampires as well, so seeing an anime where it has, like, the Germanic representation of vampires, just, they're overly powerful, the fangs, they drink your blood. In all the other animes I've seen about vampires, they're very Japanese interpretations of what vampires are.
What's the Japanese interpretation?
Well, they're more like demons, ghosts, specters, that kind of thing. It's like vampires in this sense. Well, I mean, on one end, like, they say that certain vampires are born in this series and certain vampires are turned. So I guess you can see there's interpretations both ways, but in all the movies and other animes I've seen, like, vampires are just ageless beings that just kill, and there's no way to become a vampire.
Have you ever seen Vampire Hunter D by any
I have. I've seen Vampire Hunter D, the original, but it's been a number of years since I've seen it. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, though, I just actually rewatched about a year ago. Life, that one.
One of my favorites.
Bloodlust is a great series, and I really liked that one. And actually, I was going to talk about that because Owari no SERAPH really reminded me of Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. The animation style is really polished. The vampires take somebody who has extra human abilities to be able to kill them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, what don't you like about this, then?
A lot of the characters seem to fit a mold that's very heavily used in a lot of the anime that I've seen. Like, there's the main character who's overly confident in his abilities. There's the female character that keeps him grounded. Then there's his sidekick character who really doesn't seem like he fits, but, like, because of his personality type, he also can keep the main character grounded. I've just seen it time and again in a lot of different animes, and it just didn't seem like any of the characters were any different than I'd seen in anything else.
Very archetypal. Yeah, I agree. I do want to say, though, I thought I wasn't going to like the main character because of his self-confidence, like, overwhelming amount of self-confidence, but he actually came through a lot. It didn't bother me.
Yeah. I feel like this first season was like a trial run, so to speak. A lot of animes I know, when they get their first season, it's only 13 episodes, maybe 26, because the network wants to see how well it responds to, like, crowds and stuff. So I don't know if they were just trying to rush the characters through a lot of development or what have you, but I feel like the main character, he developed very rapidly. In the first 2 episodes, like, he was just arrogant and hot-headed, and after he joins, like, the Imperial Demon Army, he really starts making leaps and bounds as far as, like, his ability to rely on his teammates and stuff.
Okay. Well, let me see. What did I like about this? I did like the way it looked. It sounded. I watched it in subs. I almost never watched dubbed stuff.
Right.
So I can't really comment on the English voice acting because most people watch dubs, but I thought the Japanese was fine. The action was good. It was kind of pretty quick. It's like if he's not in there mashing shit, the other 4 people are just gonna die. They suck.
Right.
I mean, the action is good, but other than that, it's like if he goes down, it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't like about this is one of my pet peeves, so I'm going to be kind of lenient on this later on in my rating, but it comes off as very melodramatic that they have to keep hammering you over the head, like, constantly. These people have tragic pasts. Bad stuff happened to them. Yeah. You remember last episode? I binge watched, so that's why I'm kind of lenient about it, because it's like washing over me every 20 or 30 minutes. But constantly, like the main guy, look, this happened. He had a circuit family. They're all dead. Oh, did you forget that last episode? Here, watch this again. They died. It was tragic, like over and over and over again.
Yeah, I get that, especially considering that it seemed like they wanted to hammer in that a lot of the characters have tragic past, not just the main character. Like, a lot of the characters have just, like, something going wrong. And I mean, I get that it's a future where 90% of the human population has been killed off, so a lot of people are going to have tragic past, but they took such painful detail into going into the past of every single character and how their lives are just terrible.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
So that was one of the main things I didn't like about it. It was cool when it happened, but I'm very hesitant. It's not that big of a secret because early on, it's revealed that the main dude isn't 100% human.
Right.
Like, they've been experimenting on him and possibly the others. We don't know if the others have been affected or not. But so at the end, you get to kind of get a glimpse at this monster that's inside of him. And a lot of series do the monster inside me thing. Probably the most famous one right now is Naruto.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, kind of hesitant about that the next season. But overall, I mean, I did like this first season more than I disliked it.
Yeah.
So, I guess at this point, unless you have anything else to add...
I don't know if you wanted me to go into some of the things that I have, like, questions that I've had about the series and, like, just, like, predictions that I've had.
Do you feel like they're spoilers?
Yeah, kind of.
Then why don't we do this? Let's give our ratings, and then after that, we'll go into spoilers.
Okay. Well, for my rating, I'd give it a solid B. I thought that it was as many cliches as they go through with the anime. It does hold up, and vampires just aren't really one of those things that are tackled a whole lot, at least in my experience of watching anime. I really liked the idea of their weapons are the souls of demons and capable of communicating with them. I thought that that was a really cool spin that they put on how they're able to power up and stuff. So as much as it rehashes a lot of things that we've seen in anime before, I really enjoyed watching it, and I'll give it a solid B.
Alright, it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a low solid B. It's only because, like I said, one of my big pet peeves is constantly, hey, did you forget this? Did you forget this? Did you forget this? Like, over and over, trying to show you this guy had a fucked up past. It's like, dude, come on. I mean, you can show me that, like, a few times in the season. I don't need to see this, like, 12 times. So, that kind of knocked it down a little bit. I'm kind of hesitant, but rating just it as a season, solid B. But for me, personally, a little bit lower, like a low solid B. I have a lot of hope for it. I would say it's probably better than a lot of stuff I've been avoiding. I mean, once in a while, I'll try to watch something or read the new series that comes out, and it's everything I was afraid it would be. But this one, especially with the way the main character started out, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I didn't think I was going to like him, and it didn't really bother me that he was so cocky or whatever, because he pulled through when he needed to, and not through dumb luck. So, I liked it. I'm really hesitant about the monster inside me aspect, though. We'll see what the second season is like. Do you know when the second season is coming out?
The second season is going to be coming out in October of this year, so about 3 months from now. I don't know the exact date that it's supposed to start, but October is when the second season is slated to start.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty on the ball. Maybe you should be on more regularly, because we don't look up anime news at all.
Well, my wife helps out a lot, so...
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you want to do predictions and other stuff?
Yeah, okay, so, like, one thing that I had noticed in the series is the demon weapons all have names. And Gurren, who is the colonel or general of the Imperial Demon Army Moon Unit, his demon weapon is named something Hiragi, which is the last name of Shinoa Hiragi, which is one of the main characters. So, they've mentioned a number of times her sister was a part of the Imperial Demon Army, and they always refer to her in the past tense, which leads me to believe that she's not currently living. but Gurren's demon weapon is named Hiragi, so I'm curious if they have a way of turning people into these black demon class weapons, or if they have ways of turning vampires into these demon class weapons, or if it's just a coincidence. Because, I mean, in my experience, very rarely do they have coincidences in animes, so, I mean, the fact that there is Shinoa Hiragi and then Gurren's demon weapon is named Hiragi, I imagine there's going to be a connection there.
Do you know if it's a common name?
Well, I know that Shinoa's brother is also in the demon army, and I think that he's Gurren's superior.
Oh, okay.
But beyond that, I don't know if it's a common name in the anime, and I don't know if it's a common name in Japanese, period. So, I could just be way off base, but I couldn't help but notice the similarity.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And another, prediction that I had a thought on was Mika, who is Yu's childhood friend and the only other survivor of the orphanage that they came from. Well, he becomes a vampire, obviously, which you see after only 3 or 4 episodes.
No, it's not even that. You see it in the first ending credits.
Yeah, so Mika is from the same orphanage as Yu is. So Yu has this power inside him, this beast inside him, as you said. And I'm curious if we're going to see if Mika also has a similar beast inside, like if it was an experiment from the orphanage, or if it was just something that Yu had inside him. And if Mika also has a beast inside him, I'm curious to see how different it might be from Yu's beast, because he's a vampire now. So I don't know if they'll have a modified version of his, if he'll be able to control it more, if he'll be able to control it less. Just from watching Yu go into his beast within mode, he seems dead set on abolishing demons from the world, which proves pretty terrible for all of his friends because they all use demon weapons. So I mean, they have demons in close proximity to them, so Yu, when he freaks out, targets them. I'm curious to see where the writers are going to take these kind of plot twists in the second season.
Was the orphanage always under the vampire control?
I don't think that they've divulged those kind of information yet. It was very shortly after the news broke that there was a virus that the vampires came to the orphanage and collected the children.
Oh, okay.
So I have a feeling if it wasn't controlled by the vampires, it was being very closely monitored by the vampires.
Alright, makes sense.
Yeah.
I would bet more than not that Mika will have some kind of, power-up mode form thing. I don't know if it'll be related to that, but it'll probably happen. I would be surprised if it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, I probably had some ideas, but this kept getting pushed back so much I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, I understand, schedules being what they are.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Somebody getting locked out of Skype and they couldn't get their Skype shit.
Yeah, it took a day and a half just for me to get my password back.
My God. I thought you went to college for this crap.
I did go to college, but I don't have administrative privileges at Skype.
Maybe you should get it.
I should talk to them about it.
Okay, well, I guess this is where I wrap it up. So be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel where we have all of our podcasts archived. PlanetTyro.com. Just search on your browser, it'll come up. Check us out on Facebook. Check me out on Twitter, _oldboy, or hashtag catfacekiller with the K's. Anything you want to plug in, Drew?
No, I just happy to be here, really happy you guys had me on. I look forward to listening to your guys' podcast, maybe doing another guest appearance in the future.
Yeah, well, you gotta listen to our shit all the way through.
Well,
God damn it.
Future plans.
Alright, well, later, folks.
Alright, take care, everybody.